New coach Alistair Coetzee named his first Springbok squad this weekend ahead of the June Test series against Ireland. We're also going to touch on the final round of Super Rugby before that June break. I'm joined in studio by Sport 24 editor Gareth Namley and chief writer Rob Howing. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you very much for coming in.
Hello, Nick.
Before we get on to Springbok matters, guys, let's just have a little recap of round 14 of Super Rugby. Rob, what were some of the sort of big surprises for you? What stood out for you, I suppose, on the South African front? Encouraging for the Kings to get, or not, their second win of the season. Waratahs smashing the Chiefs, I suppose that was a little bit of an upset. But all in all, decent results.
Yes, it was. Thank goodness from a South African point of view that we had a really high tempo, thrilling game between the Bulls and Lions at Loftus. It was a very good advertisement for South African rugby, whereas the previous two games were pretty bad advertisements for South African rugby. The Stormers Cheetahs was a niggly, tetchy sort of game, clumsy, never really got into any stride, and that's partly, you suspect, as a result of that the players got frustrated, and then all these sort of various bouts of argy-bargy broke out. Which was a little bit unfortunate. The night before, of course, yes, the Kings got that win against the Jaguars, but the Jaguars were down to 12 men, and you sort of wondered whether the Kings were capable of scoring around a stationary lamppost. But they finally did manage to get over the line. Again, doubts about the Jaguars' discipline. They've had so many yellow and red cards this season that there's definitely a sort of a discipline issue in their camp, which is costing them quite dearly, and they need to revisit that in a hurry. But be that as it may, I think the Lions are now in with a really excellent shout at winning their conference. I can't see the Sharks now being able to haul them in. Of course, they were on a bye, and the Lions have now streaked ahead with a 5-point haul at Loftus, which is a dream return for them. So they're going to win that conference, I think. Stormers now also have a good head of steam on the Bulls. They're 4 points clear of the Bulls, and the Bulls now perhaps are the ones struggling. The Bulls may be the sort of the one of the big four South African teams that doesn't make the cut, although with the 3 rounds still to go after the recess, still plenty to play for. But it was, thank goodness for that game at Loftus. It put a smile back on our faces after fairly grim sort of South African matches, not just this week, but in previous weeks as well, which is obviously a little bit of a concern.